Hey, welcome to another episode of Learning to Fly, and today is all about short grass strips.
If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for checking it out. You can click in the top right now to see my last video, which included some formation flying with an RV6. It was one of my favourite flights so far. I did record almost every lesson on getting my license with Kemble Flying Club, so if you are learning to fly or you fancy learning to fly, make sure you click subscribe and take a look at my back catalogue of previous videos. And in this episode, look out for a mistake I make. We'll be touching on that later. Thank you so much for watching.
So I'm going to be flying to Brown Shutters, which has a runway of about 400 metres. It's got 4 runways actually, and yeah, in fact some of the landing distances are actually less than 400 metres, so 380, something like that. We'll head off to Brown Shutters and we'll do a landing there and then come back. Kemble traffic, Golf, Romeo Lima Sierra is lining up runway 08 grass. So I'm lining up, I'm going to do a short field departure on 08, do my checks first. Compass in line with the runway. The wind is very light and sort of from the north slightly, abort point. The third marker on the left, I'd imagine, probably can't see that on the camera. Kemble traffic, Golf, Romeo Lima Sierra is rolling, runway 08 grass.
I was a little bit early for Brown Shutters, so I thought I'd kill some time by flying over a couple of mates' houses in my hometown before heading to the southwest and onto Brown Shutters farm. In fact, I nipped over a friend's house who's took some amazing photos. Now, bear in mind, I'm 700 feet up. He must have a massive lens, so Ben Jarvis _photography. Get him on Instagram, follow him, check out some of the photos. He's done loads of photos of the sky recently, at night as well. They're really impressive. So Ben, thank you so much for taking those pics. That's cool, man. And with that done, let's head on to Brown Shutters.
Very clear day. I mean, there is a haze, but it's good. 90 knots ground speed. Let's do a Frida check. Fuel is good. Rate direction. Well, we're following our GPS. We can see the Fossway as well. We're overhead Kemble at the moment, so that just isn't an issue. Altitude. We're going to stay on the QFE today because the airfield I'm going to has the same altitude above sea level, same height above sea level. So we will, and it's only a 15-minute flight. There's barely any point changing, and it's actually quite useful just to see what we are above ground level. We're bang on there. Cool. We'll change to safety com, and I don't know what we're going to do. I think I'll do a downwind on 07, so just join up there. So yeah. It's so good to be back flying. There are so many benefits to getting up, getting some headspace, understanding the world a little bit. It's just amazing. I love it. Everyone I've taken up has loved it. So we just have to be a little bit careful. We're at 3.1. It's deactivated, but Bristol's CTA is at 4.5. So, you know, as long as I'm not climbing ridiculously, even then, but I think it would be wise to be listening and chatting to them instead of monitoring safety comms, so I'm going to stay well below that. Coming up to the M4. This will be Caution, Chippenham, Caution. So I'll make a call when I get to Caution on safety comm. Castle Comb's got some cars going around it. They're having a fun time. That's pretty cool. Brown Shutters Farm traffic, Golf Romeo Lima Sierra is overhead. Brown Shutters Farm traffic.
I haven't got a ton of farm strip experience really, or working with safety com and basically deciding myself which runway I want to use. So I'm currently looking at exactly that. Which runway should I be using here? I know the wind was just from the northeast slightly, which makes it a 07 or 33. Do I hold in the overhead, make my decision by looking at the windsock here, Also, knowing that 3-3 is a little longer, I went for that. It is worth noting, actually, the pale-looking runway isn't active yet. It is going to be 500 metre plus east-west runway. It's not quite ready at the time of flying in. That is going to be a real draw to Brown Shutters Farm.
Looks like 0-3.
This made me laugh. 0-3? That's good. That is none of the available runways. Perfect.
Brown Shutters Farm traffic, Golf Golf Romeo Lima Sierra is descending for runway 33, Brown Shutters Farm traffic. Brown Shutters Farm traffic, Golf Golf Romeo Lima Sierra is downwind, runway 33, Brown Shutters Farm traffic. Trim's good, wind, we know what that's doing. All clear, yep, currently. Let's get that speed under control. First stage of flat. Retrim. Finals clear.
So as we set up for this landing, I make sure that I've got my speed under control. I'm looking for 65, maybe even less than that, towards 60. The wind is pretty light, so I can afford to be pretty slow on this.
Brown Shutters Farm traffic, Golf Golf Romeo Lima Sierra is final runway 33, Brown Shutters Farm traffic.
Using full flap, there is a displaced threshold. So this is yellow markers on the runway where I can actually land from. So I don't want to be before those yellow markers. You'll see those as we approach. So I've got full flap on, really keeping that speed under control, controlling, you know, how far up the runway I want to land, essentially with throttle now. And controlling my speed with pitch. The ground came up to meet me, as you'll see in a second, so it was quite a firm landing, but actually that wasn't a bad thing. It meant I could get the brakes on and actually come to a stop, better than just floating on down the runway and using more runway up.
Bloody hell.
What a thrill. Going into places like this, for me, is what the Skyranger is just brilliant at. Well, and what can I say? Brown Shutters Farm, it's well worth a visit. They will have, as I say, that 500 metre plus runway up and running soon enough, and they plan for some really cool accommodation, potentially some food stuff, I think, in the future. And there's a farm shop really nearby as well. Landing fees are £5. You can pretty much always land into win, which is ideal. So I met up with Ben, who is the air traffic control officer. He's featured on the channel a fair bit before, so link in the top right for the video that we did together on how to improve your radio calls. He has a Skyranger, so we thought we would team up for some formation flying before we went our separate ways on this glorious summer morning.
Brown Shutters traffic, Golf Golf Romeo Lima Sierra is taking off runway 33. Feet, flaps away. A lot of concentrating going on here. It's thermic. I've got Ben visual. That's better. That's nice. There's just another reason why I absolutely chuffing love this hobby. Oh.
So have you noticed my mistake yet? Because here's a bit of a lesson. In the excitement of getting back in the air, I clearly rushed my checks on the ground I checked the passenger door was shut and latched, but not my door.
Jesus. Right, that's why you should always do your checks.
It's a small forward-facing latch. I forgot it. I'm being very honest with you here. I could have easily just edited to this point, and yeah, it's an easy one to miss, and the plane can actually fly with doors open. But you don't want that distraction of it opening mid-flight, especially in an uncontrolled manner above the door opening speed of 70 miles an hour. So lesson well and truly learnt here.
Look at the Fossway. I don't know if you can see it. Way beyond the M4 there. Runs all the way up past the M4. All the way up. All the way into Kemble. Tetbury's over there, Molesbury's down here, so that means Charlton Park is down there somewhere. I can see Charlton Park. That's key because that's quite busy at times.
Kemble, traffic, Golf Fox, trot downwind for 26 hard, traffic go.
Kemble traffic, Golf Romeo Lima Sierra is overhead Malmesbury for a downwind join on runway 26. If you're wondering what's going on at the moment, I'm at max continuous cruise in a slight descent, holding about 100 miles an hour here. I'm a little bit late, that's why. Overhead Malmesbury to the right. So we're just going to start a cruise descent into Kemble. I'm joining downwind. I left on 08, but there's a guy on the circuit on runway 2.
Traffic, Golf Foxtrot, finals for 26 hard, touch and go.
There's a guy on the circuit for runway 26, so that's the rule. If you're going to join the circuit, you follow what everyone else is doing. I can actually see that traffic on final 26. So we're going to do a downwind join on runway 26 and come in there. We're at 3,000 feet, so we do need to lose a considerable amount of height. So I say we're in a cruise descent, we're actually doing a little bit more than that. The throttle is pretty low now. And I've got my aiming point for downwind join. Need to be down at 1,000 feet by the point I'm entering the zone really. Kemble traffic, Golf Romeo Lima Sierra is entering the zone from the southwest for downwind join on runway 26 grass.
Kemble traffic, Golf Fox trot downwind for 26 grass, touch and go.
It's Golf Lima Sierra and I'm visual with traffic ahead. Sloppy. I've let 100 feet like slip away in the downwind leg there, so that's not great. He's coming down, that's fine. Right, so let's retrim, let's get a stage of flapping. Let's retrim there. I'm happy, I'm checking final. Final's good. Kemble traffic, Golf Romeo Lima Sierra, it's final runway 26 grass to land. Right, so there's final, pull flat, bit of sink, bit of lift. And it is a crosswind from the right.
Kemble traffic, Golf Foxtrot downwind for 26 hard to land.
Trying a crosswind landing, so I've got rid of the crab effect. Wing down approach. 60, 65. There's 60. Fly it into the ground. There's a bit of extra lift. Round out. Throttle down. Bumpety, 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 bump. Brakes, release brakes. Happy with that. Crosswind landing. I haven't done one of those for a while, so that was good to do. Well, I appreciate that. Actually, yeah, it's a bloody crosswind landing. Look at that.
Well, thank you so much for watching. Coming up, I answer the question I get all the time, which is my favourite, the C-42, the Skyranger, or the Eurostar. Plus, we're going to be going into Badminton, which is a super, super cool runway, and another farm strip called Bowl Down. Thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe.